I'm Mary.
And I'm Katie, and this is The Housewife Did It.
Pop Culture Edition.
Ooh, and it's Halloween when this comes out, so happy Halloween.
Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Ooh.
Not wearing a costume, but I'm wearing an homage to a costume.
Yeah, your last night's costume.
My last night costume.
I'm drinking berry basil cannabis-infused sparkling beverage from Minneapolis Cider Company. Minneapolis Cider Company, sponsor us.
Should I go get my coffee soda?
What does that taste like?
It's strawberry lime flavored.
Yeah, I did see that.
I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
It says it's supposed to taste like Hawaiian punch from when you were little.
And coffee? Or not coffee, taste?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out, because it is a coffee soda.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, you can run and get it. We'll start with our
We'll
drink reviews. Where's it from?
Comeback Coffee. Okay. That's weird.
Does it have the coffee flavor?
Yes.
And the fruit punch flavor?
Yeah.
And it's soda-y?
Mm-hmm. The description says, remember your favorite juice pouch from childhood? Well, imagine it now with coffee and bubbles for a fun new way to enjoy the flavors you already know and love. Refreshingly familiar. Did I say that wrong?
Mm-mm. Refreshingly familiar.
Familiar.
Yeah.
This is not a beer.
Thank you. Interesting.
I also have a local drink.
Wow.
It's not bad.
Okay.
It's interesting though.
Hard to know what you're gonna bolus for, or if you're just gonna die. Okay, so Comeback Coffee and or Minneapolis Cider Company sponsor us, but please make diet versions for Mary.
Or tell me if it's diet.
Yeah, just put a label.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
All right, so let's get rolling. Start off. Last night we found out that Matthew Perry died. Mm-hmm. At the age of 54. Not entirely clear, but they say an apparent drowning in his jacuzzi or hot tub at home. I don't know. Like, to me, that just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like I think
they did say that they didn't find any, like, drugs.
Yeah, I think, like, I heard it could have been a call about a cardiac arrest. But then it's like, so did he die from a heart attack, or did he have a heart attack and then drown?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but very sad. Young guy. In other news, reportedly, Catherine Dennis ran over a school resource officer directing traffic outside of an elementary school and then fled the scene, so she's now involved in a hit and run. It's great.
It does not surprise me.
Not really. Well, they were like, it's unclear if it's the Southern Charm star, Catherine Dennis, but the car is registered to a Catherine Calhoun Dennis from Monk's Corner. And I'm like, seems pretty clear to me.
Yeah.
Kyle Richards' Mauricio drama is picking up. I happened to catch the first episode of the new season of Beverly Hills. So I got invested in this all of a sudden. But Mauricio was seen out with his Dancing with the Stars partner, Emma Slater, seeming very close and then they were holding hands. Which, close also.
Yeah. The same rumor has been spread about Harry Jowsey and Riley Arnold, partially for the same reason. And they explained, like, somebody asked them, like, y'all were holding hands. And they explained that in their situation, she was, like, trying to lead him out of a crowd. So they weren't, like, holding hands, but she was, like, holding on to him and pulling him through the crowd. which, like, I think that the difference is that everyone and their mother wants Harry Jowsey and Riley Arnold to be together, but her having graduated from high school 6 months ago freaks me out,
Yeah.
quite frankly. I would rather
Mm-hmm.
Emma and Mauricio be together because that's normal.
Yeah. Yeah, so Andy asked Kyle about the pictures on Watch What Happens Live, and she said she was very hurt. And she also said, obviously, there's something there.
Mhm.
Which I agree, Kyle. I agree.
Mhm.
She also did say on Watch What Happens Live that she and Morgan Wade are just best friends. So she's sticking to that. Although I think we're going to see a little bit of their friendship on this season of Beverly Hills. So I guess we'll see if she's just like trying to keep us in the dark for something to air or what. But Mauricio and Emma did make a video replying to these I don't know, accusations, I guess, or suggestions. And they basically just said they're very close, which I think, like, is fair. Like, on Dancing with the Stars, like, you do get really close. Like, I think that that's true. But they said that they grabbed hands because they were recapping from the week, which I, like, don't really understand.
The two of them out in public recapping?
Well, he was like, we were just recapping, and then, you know, like, I just reached over and grabbed her hand. And, like, Mauricio, you're saying it like this, you're saying it to me like it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. And Emma's just like, yeah, we were just I'm like, recapping what? I mean, maybe it was like an emotional week, like, so they grabbed hands. Like, I don't really understand. Also, I'm assuming you've seen the pictures.
I have not.
Okay. I can assure you that those are two people who have fucked or, like, really, really want to fuck.
Okay.
I feel very confident about that.
I'll take your word for it. I also think it's worth noting that Emma also just got a divorce from another Dancing with the Stars professional.
Okay.
So I think it would make a lot of sense if they have found comfort in each other.
Yeah.
But also his dance this week was kind of about Kyle.
Yeah.
It was like the most memorable year, and he explained that his most memorable year was when their family was struggling with money, and Kyle came to him and was like, you know, you have always wanted to be a real estate agent. Like, why don't you, like, go follow through with that and, like, become one? And that basically, like, her encouragement changed their lives.
Yeah.
And the way it looked in the dance was like Emma was Kyle.
Okay. Yeah.
It was kind of like encouraging him to, like, follow his dreams and, like, lifting him up and leading him to what he needed and whatever. So I thought that was interesting that, like, I think regardless of what's happened with them, it seems that he still, like, respects Kyle enough to recognize that, like, she helped get him where he is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the separation drama, which, like, I guess at this point in the show, it's not a separation, but it seems that we're getting there. In the very first episode, Mauricio discovers that Kyle has 2 or 3 more tattoos than he knew about. She's now up to 5. Kyle says, which is fair, but she says, well, if you were paying closer attention to my body or we spent more time together, you would probably have seen these. Which, like, again, like, while that's fair, like, that is sad.
Yeah.
So Mauricio tries to tell her, he starts off really sweet, and he's just like, I don't remember what he calls her, something like love bug or something, but he's like, honey, like, that's too many. And she's like, no, like, I'll do what I want. And then he starts to get more serious, and he's just like, seriously, that's too many. And And he tells her, like, I just don't want you doing stuff like this just to rebel.
Mm-hmm.
And she is very stern that, like, she will do what she wants with her own body. Obviously, good for her. A great boundary to set. But I do think, like, I haven't watched years of Mauricio, but from, like, what I've heard and what I have seen, like, I like Mauricio. And he just seems like someone who is heartbroken that there are 3 tattoos on his wife's body that he didn't know about. And that, like, she seems to, like, be becoming someone else. Not necessarily a bad thing, but, like, that would be sad for someone you've been with for 20 plus years.
Yeah. Like, obviously you can't control your wife.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad.
Yeah.
But if your wife is getting tattoos without telling you, there's, like, clearly a communication breakdown. And I, personally, like, if I found out that my husband had tattoos that he did not tell me about, like, I would be mad.
It's just like,
Because
have you
I'd be
had
like,
time to
why are
get
you
3
not telling me
tattoos? Yeah.
Yeah. I have tattoos. I never, like, ask my husband, like, hey, can I get a tattoo? But, like, I would give him a heads up.
Well, you're involved enough in each other's life that it'd be like, how do you come home with a recovering tattoo that's, like, red and, like, whatever, and, like, no one knows.
Right.
Yeah.
So I get why he's mad, but also, like, I think she has a fair point. Like, how are you just now seeing them?
Yeah. But it's also, like, I don't know enough context, but, like, whose fault is it that he's never not seen your body in a long time? Like, is it just Mauricio's fault? Like, maybe. But,
yeah,
I don't know. So, oh, okay. Mary has things to say about Winter House, so that will be a whole little section. But
yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. But on Watch What Happens Live, following the Winter House premiere, which we'll get to in a second, Kyle was able to give a little more insight to the
Different Kyle.
Huh?
Different Kyle.
Yeah, whoa, yeah. I was like, no, it's the regular Kyle Mary. No. Kyle Cook was able to give us a little more insight to the Rad House breakup. Yes, both Kyles have been on Watch What Happens Live this week. So, Kyle Cook. He said that, I mean, basically Andy was like, were you surprised? And he said, like, I mean, I'm privy to more information than most people, so, like, I wasn't surprised, but, like, also when you get to a point of wanting to call off a wedding, like, that is, like, a big deal. He actually said, like, that's a bigger decision than proposing, and so it's like, I was surprised they got to that point, but he said Carl had told him before that, like, the only place they communicated well was in therapy, and that Carl didn't want to have 50 years of his life where he could only communicate through a third party, which is, like, fair. I mean, I don't know. It is true that, like, I think Lindsay is so, like, we're going to be in therapy and it's going to make us better, but, like, she doesn't seem to, like, keep skills super well. Like, she gets out into a hard situation and she just, like, loses her shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, he also said that Carl was not planning to break up with Lindsay in that conversation, and so, like, no one really knew about it until that's how it ended, and then they found out. And then Andy asked Kyle how much he thinks Carl regrets the breakup, and Kyle said 0. Which is just sad.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot more sense, actually. Like, that it wasn't like Carl set her down and was like, we're breaking up, but that, like, they were trying to have a conversation and that's just the direction it headed.
And it may have been Lindsay losing her shit, or, you know, like, who knows?
But it's also, like, sad to me because I feel like in watching them get together, it felt like Lindsay's communication issues from, like, previous relationships had really improved with Carl. Like, Carl is, like, a very clear communicator, especially now that he's sober, and, like, it seemed like they were doing really well with that, and so it's, like, sad that it, like, got to a point where he was, like, as a very good communicator, was like, I literally cannot talk to her anywhere else. And, like, I think that because he is a good communicator, like, I can see how that would be very frustrating, that, like, you're with someone who we already know is a little, like, hot-headed and, like, not very careful when speaking,
Yeah.
that, like, that it's now becoming an issue even with someone that she started really healthily with.
Yeah. So, I'll be excited to watch that play out. Finally.
Mhm.
The Roni reunion is starting off with a bang, I feel. Kind of confusing bang, I must say.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little hard to follow. But we find out that Sai and Bran apparently have not really talked since that finale. Andy, like, brings up, like, wait, y'all have been in, like, press together, like, and they're like, yeah, I mean, we talked there, but, like, otherwise, not really. There are a lot of discussions about things that have been talked about on podcasts and to press since filming, which I think on the one hand is, like, that's just, like, the trend nowadays is, like, there's always stuff about, like, you sold this to the tabloids, but now it's, like, podcasts. And you can, like, directly link these people to it, because it's like, I heard like you on the podcast say that, yeah. But I also think these women are new to this, so maybe they didn't expect that, like, people would go out on podcasts and, like, say the opposite of what they had just said in the season. So that seemed to be a lot of points of contention, was just, like, what has been said since airing Wrapped. They all agree that Aaron is a gaslighter and a shit stirrer. Seemingly Aaron agrees, too. Kind of. She was like, yeah, I'm rude. And Uba was like, you're not rude. Like, you're very polite. I just think you're a shit stirrer. And she was like, yeah, I stir shit. I didn't hear her, like, say, like, yes, I'm a gaslighter. Because who's gonna say that? But yeah, I was like, is she being a smartass, or, like, is she having a moment of clarity? Yeah. I don't understand. Apparently, Uba had been railing into them all via text leading up to the reunion, so they were just talking about this series of texts they were getting from her. Yeah. All of them.
It sounded to me like she and Aaron are not on speaking terms right now, and that when she did text all of them, it said that she called Aaron Karen.
Yeah. I think she, in, like, the previews, I think...
Like, she came in hot.
Yeah, but it was, like, so, like, I love Uba, but it was, like, really giving pick me. Like, the way that, like, no one's even fucking talking about anything, and she'll be like, Andy will say something about people that are two-faced, and she's like Jenna Lyons. And you're like, whoa, girl, like, you'll have your time. Yeah.
Right, like, it was wild to me. Like, I'm like, why does Uba hate everybody?
Yeah. So Sai does admit that she was mad at herself for spilling Uba's secret, and that she took it out on Bryn. This was emotional for Bryn to hear, given that they apparently haven't spoken in, like, 6 months, or however long since then. So I think it kind of sucked to hear that Sai knows it was her own fault, and yet has been, like, punishing Bryn by not speaking to her. So that kind of sucks. Shitty. Yeah. But something good that came out of this, after the reunion, Uba has gone public with her boyfriend, Mr. Connecticut. I didn't write his name down because it isn't a recognizable name, but he is a German investment banker. And she had said in the reunion that he is private because of his job. So
we've heard that before.
Yeah. And then one final cute small thing, Michelle Young hard launched her new boyfriend. He's a Minnesotan, it looks like. He is not famous or relevant in any way, it seems, which is good.
He's cute, though.
He is cute. I do think he looks quite young, but I don't know his age, so I will... Maybe he's...
Do you know Michelle's age?
I don't.
Okay.
But I think she's got to be, like, 28 to 30, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just a guess.
She
just seems so, like, above the 24-year-olds we get from Bachelor. So.
All
All right.
right.
So you have watched Winter
Yeah.
House?
Yes.
Nice.
Winter House.
And you've caught up on the old ones, right? You did that a
Yes.
while ago? Okay.
Yes.
So, I heard that at the premiere, Carl and Lindsay were both at the event, which is interesting given that neither of them like have to be at the
Yeah.
event.
Right.
And maybe they will make like a guest appearance this season, but like interesting.
Yeah. I feel like they probably will make a guest appearance at some point.
Yeah, which is gonna be kind of sad to watch, but they do have to talk about Scandival in the first episode because Tom Sandoval was supposed to be there, but now he is not.
Yeah, and we learned that at the time that they start filming, it has been a week since Scandival broke. So I'm sure it will be brought up plenty.
Yeah.
And finding out that Katie has never heard of Schwartz makes a lot more sense with the rumors that are going that they'll be together this season because coming into the house, like, everyone kind of hates him right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, and they're all like, I'm like so disappointed in him. Like, obviously we can't have Sandoval come, but like Schwartz can come, but like he's on thin ice too. And then she's like, I have never heard of this person in my life.
Yeah. And man, as I was watching that first episode, I was sitting there thinking, I swear Mary said she liked Alex from Below Deck. But I was like in pain. It was like so hard to watch how cringy this man was. Now, his friend Brian Binney is like just as difficult to watch. But ew, it was rough, man. I actually, like, I feel like, so Jordan totally thought Alex was hot when he first walked in. But I feel like you can watch in real time, in that moment in the hot tub, as she gets the ick. Like, he's like, slow motion crawling towards her, and you can see her go from, like, this was fun and flirty to, ew. Yeah. And, like, good for her, because I feel like a lot of women, if you got the ick part of the way through something like that, like, you would still just kiss them and then, like, whatever. But she was like, nope, I'm not into this anymore. Like, no thanks.
Yeah. I did like Alex.
That is so sad, Mary.
Below Deck. But my first thought watching the premiere was, why is Alex being such a fucking weirdo?
So weird.
I think that the thing is that on the one season he was on of Below Deck, he was part of that love pentagon.
Yeah.
And he was kind of overshadowed by Gary in the love pentagon. So Alex liked Mads and Mads liked Alex, but she got with Gary so quickly that Alex was kind of on the sideline. So maybe we just didn't get a good view of him.
He like made you want to root for him.
He wasn't like actively pursuing Mads because she was with Gary.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see that side. But yeah, it just got progressively worse throughout the episode. I hate watching him. Brian is better. Brian is easier to watch.
Yeah, because he's like cute cringe. Alex is like really unaware cringe.
Yeah. But yeah, I love Jordan. I love watching her shut everyone down because I thought the same thing. I feel like on Bravo, especially, we see women being overly polite to avoid being awkward.
Yeah.
So I love like when women on Bravo shows are not afraid to be firm with their boundaries. Especially women of color, because I feel like when Sierra is like firm with her boundaries, people think she's like so like over the top and like angry. Yeah. And so I like when they're like, no, I'm not into this, like, please stop.
Yeah.
Also on Winter House, Danielle talks more about her breakup with Robert and that it was not amicable. That she like, I think has seen him a couple times and it did not go well. Yeah. Corey talks about his new situationship with Sam and how much he likes her. He will not say that they're in a relationship, though.
So sleazy.
Which they are.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they are now, but they were then too.
And like Kyle said, like maybe they haven't like put the title on it.
Yeah.
And so, like, I almost wonder if it's more of, like, you know, Corey, we watched him play, like, he likes to play hard to get. So I almost think it's more of, like, a pride thing. He doesn't want to be the one calling her his girlfriend if they haven't had that discussion. But it's, like, I think saying to people, like, I will not be open to getting to know people in the house would be fair. But he's, like, leaving
because
everyone.
Because you think you like her.
Yeah. And they're clearly into him, so.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. Then at the very end of the episode, Schwartz enters the home and is already playing on the melodramatics. If he is going to spend this entire season wallowing about how hurt he was by Scandival, I am going to lose it.
Yeah.
Like, I literally cannot watch it if that is what he's going to be doing. It
might be.
Like, I get that it's been a week at that point, but, like, at some point, you gotta move on. He's not there. Worry about other things.
Yeah. I swear to God, if that's how he ends up winning Katie and being in the previews, this was so sad for me, and, like,
yeah, in the previews, he's like, I can't hook up with a girl named Katie because my ex-wife's name is Katie. And I feel like maybe that's how he gets her, is he's like, oh, like, this is so weird for me.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna try harder.
Ugh. All right, over to ABC. It's Bachelor time. Apparently the new girl we were waiting on to walk down the stairs. Okay, so the new girl we were waiting to come down the stairs was Sam from Bachelor in Paradise Canada. A bit of a, not the climax I was looking for.
I think she looks like a glam version of Hannah Berner.
Can I tell you what I read? Someone said, do all people from Canada look alike? Because she looks like Jimbo's sister. And I was like, I mean, she kind of does, but I feel, I don't know. But Sambo gets thrown into the rose ceremony right off the bat. But first, I mean, she has a few conversations, but first she tells Sean that at 26 years old, his frontal cortex is probably not even fused, and he makes the worst argument a man could, and he says, no, actually, people tell me all the time I'm mature for my age.
He is not.
No. And she said, who tells you that? Your mom? Yeah. Sean, Will, Aaron S., and John B. go home.
Aaron S., like, you know where you went wrong.
Buddy.
You should have left when you had the chance with a girl. And Sam.
Peter.
Not Peter.
FP.
Over Will? Or John B? Peter?
Come on,
I don't get it.
And she did make it very clear. Yeah, she made it very clear that, like, she was interested in the other guys. Like, she was like, there's some hot guys that got roses from other people, so yeah, I'll be looking at them. So,
it's a weird pick.
Yeah, it is. Rachel and Brayden go on their date. Truthfully, I feel like I am watching two people who are very in love, who've known each other a long time, who are on, like, their fucking honeymoon. They fit so perfectly together.
Yeah. I'm obsessed. And now I'm wondering if their reaction to Jesse's comment about them sitting together after the final rose had less to do with them being, like, weird at him suggesting they were together and more about them being worried about being too obvious.
Maybe.
That they were together. Because, like, when he said that, their eyes got really big and then it flashed to them later and they weren't sitting together anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel like I really don't see any way that it doesn't work out.
I know.
At this point in time.
I hope.
But, yeah.
In true Bachelor in Paradise fashion, Kat's birthday obviously has to be ruined. We all saw this coming. Apparently, Kat did not.
The previews brought it up several times.
We all know how birthdays go in Paradise.
Yeah.
So Davia shows up. She's a stunner. Davia, who the show clearly knows is interested in Tanner, and she asks Tanner on a date. He says yes, but that he would like to talk to Kat before he leaves. She is pissed because it is her birthday, but also because he said yes without talking to her. Now, according to what we as viewers have seen, she did not even talk to Brayden before leaving for her date. Not just, like, didn't talk to him before saying yes. Like, she literally walked right past him and left. Now,
which Brayden points out.
Yes. Now, she, of course, is now saying that that was editing and that she did talk to him before. But I guess we don't really know. And, of course, to Kat, it would be different because it's not his birthday.
Yeah.
So, she can do whatever she wants to him. Aaron B is not feeling the slightest bit bad for Kat. And he says to the camera, just eat your cake.
He's funny.
Yeah.
Like, he is so funny to me. But also, I cannot believe that Kat was delulu enough to think that she would get a date card after she just got to go on a date with Tanner.
Yeah.
And her reaction to Rachel getting it was, like, actually unhinged
Yeah.
to me. Like, that, first of all, like, it's your birthday, not your fucking coronation day.
Yeah.
You're not the president. You're not getting, like, it's not that special a day.
Yeah.
You don't get an extra date just because it's your birthday.
Yeah.
When other people haven't had time for one yet. But also Delulu is her when Davia, in my opinion, very kindly and without needing to, pulls her aside to chat. And she's like, so you don't want to pursue any of these other people? And Davia's like, I wouldn't have asked Tanner on the date so quickly if I didn't want to pursue him.
Yeah.
And, like, she just, everything feels very, like, just, like, selfish, but also, like, at this point, I feel like if we see her couple up with anyone else, it's just not going to feel genuine.
Yeah.
Because of how, like, cuckoo she is being about Tanner.
Yeah. Yeah. Kat feels that the fact that it's her birthday means that Tanner should choose her above all else, and that this makes Tanner not a man. She says that he is a boy. He is indecisive. This is not what she wants. She wants someone who's going to choose her, not someone who would ever make her feel like this on her birthday. Drama. Sam tries to encourage her to use her logical brain instead of her emotional brain because Sam acknowledges the birthday timing obviously sucks. But would your logical brain be that upset with him for wanting to explore with other people if it wasn't your birthday?
Is Sam a therapist?
I don't know, dude.
She talks about the brain a lot.
Yeah.
Also, though, Brayden, like, full-on patronizing Kat is cracking me up. He's like, let's do a deep breathing exercise. And she's just sitting there, like, not breathing with him at all. It was so funny.
Yeah. When he comes back and says, like, who's missing? Oh, Tanner. All right, I'm going to go clean up now. We'll be back. And I was like, okay. Tanner is obsessed with the two different colored eyes on Davia. Like, a lot. Like, in a little bit of a weird way.
Yeah. I mean, look, me too. But, like, in a way that is the first thing I say to describe my dog. Not my girlfriend. Yeah. Like, we get it. We get it. You don't have to tell us again because we heard you the first time.
Yeah. And he, like, went and told everyone else.
Fucking see.
Yeah. I was, like, embarrassed because he, like, went and told everyone else, and I was like, listen, she was, like, already on TV. So I'm guessing the people on Zach's season already know that. But thank you. The preview for next week shows things heating up. So, kind of like you hinted, looks like Kat's gonna go for John Henry. And my guess is that's gonna feel 0% genuine to anyone. Looks
and
like
Olivia's gonna lose it.
Yeah. Looks like Jess is gonna try things out with Tyler.
That makes me nervous.
Yeah, like it kind of like makes me like I guess good for Jess for like trying to be with one of the people she like wanted, but then like I
Mm-hmm.
also really like Tyler and Mercedes, so I'm just like,
Right.
eh. Apparently Charity is gonna come down and say something to Eliza that Aaron B will say messed up his life.
Yeah, like, what did you do?
I cannot even imagine.
Yeah, I cannot figure out. These are messy ass people.
Yeah.
Um, and I cannot figure out what he could have done
Yeah.
that has ruined his
Like I
life.
feel like Charity
That
has
charity
like
knows about.
yeah, Charity has like I thought like was pretty fond of him.
Yeah. She like when they broke up, everything was fine and normal.
Peachy.
Maybe he slid under her DMs or something.
Yikes.
Moving on to a different area of Bachelor Nation. Golden Bachelor is getting harder and harder to watch because it
Mm.
like clearly stresses Gary out,
Mm.
and
Poor
he's like
buddy.
crying all the time, and it's sad. Um, but this is what happened this week. Faith gets a once in a lifetime one-on-one, is what they keep calling it.
Oh.
It's not once in a lifetime because it happens every fucking season.
Yeah.
They go up in a helicopter and then they land on a yacht and have a little picnic there.
Cute.
When she gets back, the women are like, "How was it?" And she is hesitant to tell them because she doesn't know if they want to hear her talk about this amazing date. Basically, is what she says. She's like, "I don't know if y'all want to hear about it." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, no, like we want to hear. Like please go on." Um but I
Man,
like
if Kathy were
has
still here. Yeah,
traumatized these women.
Kathy's like, thank you, Faith. We don't want to hear it. Keep it to
Kathy's
yourself.
not there anymore.
I know, but I'm saying that's what she would be
But
saying.
yeah. So she tells them about it. She's like, it was amazing, and like they're all like really happy for her. Um, also, I feel like now that Kathy is gone, it's like they're like when everyone who left this week when they were walking out, they were like, "Bye, I love you so much," and they
Yeah.
were like, "Okay, bye, I love you." Like it was just like it's a different vibe now.
Yeah, good.
So the rest of the women go on a group date to an amusement park, and they have a lot of fun.
Good.
It looks like a great time. Leslie and Gary go up in the Ferris wheel together, and she tells him it was a hard week coming off of a one-on-one and then feeling like there's not enough time with him, which like I understand, but it's also getting annoying.
Yeah.
Like for not just for these women, for every Bachelor show. Like of course you haven't had time with him yet. It's been like 3 days
Yeah.
since y'all went on a full day long date.
Yeah.
And now that you have time with him, you're wasting it talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's silly. Um, at the amusement park, a few of the women tell Gary they're falling in love with him, which they point out they haven't said in about 50 years.
Cute.
He is so happy to hear it from them. In the previews, where we see some like hometowns, and he tells someone that he thinks he's in love, and then he does say that he's in love with all three women that are left. So I think he is going to be someone who is not going to say that
Yeah.
to anybody until they're engaged or whatever. But he's really happy to hear it.
Cute.
He then decides not to give a rose at the group date, which I think is the right call, because if he did, it would mean that he only gave one rose at the rose ceremony, because Faith already has a rose and only 3 women are going to hometowns.
Oh, okay.
So I
Yeah, that would
think,
be weird.
yeah, I think there probably isn't going to be fantasy suites. Maybe that's why they're doing 3 women at hometowns.
Maybe.
Ultimately, Faith, Leslie, and Teresa are all given roses and are heading to hometowns. So that means that Sandra, Karen, and Ellen went home. Jesse Palmer tells them to take all the time they need. So Ellen just kind of stands there for a while.
Like up at the pedestals?
Yes. just standing amongst the women who got roses. And Gary's like, Ellen, can I walk you out?
Can you leave, bitch?
Um, and so when they go outside, she seems like pretty upset. Like she's crying, but she also seems like kind of mad.
Mm.
Um, but then in her car interview, she says that Gary is a great guy. He deserves to find his love. And I'm like, why didn't you say that to him? Like, you kind of left him in shambles thinking that you're pissed at him.
Yeah.
And now you're like, you know what? Gary's just the best. Like, he should have the best. Just stop yawning.
Night, Maui.
But yeah, so we're going into hometowns. We see previews of him meeting, like, people's kids and grandkids.
Yeah, how cute is
which
that
is
gonna
fun
be?
and different. And he does talk about falling in love with the women. A few people ask him, like, he, like, tells some of the grandkids, he's like, would it be okay if I marry your grandma? I was like, you better be serious. You cannot be throwing that around.
Mm-mm. Interesting.
So, I don't know. I really don't know who I think. I think, right now I'm thinking Leslie.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking. And I've only seen one episode, but that's how I'm feeling too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to Big Brother. And this time, Jag is actually targeting Blue.
Mm-hmm.
So, Felicia will not stop with the shit stirring. Every time Cirie says literally anything, she runs up and tells Jag. I feel like we were all watching Blue thinking like, oh, poor girl, like you're trusting Jag too much, like he's lying to you. But like, damn, Felicia too. Like,
mm-hmm. And at first, I was thinking that about, like, Felicia and Cirie.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Felicia, she is not, like, your girl like you think she is. But now, like, with Jag.
Yeah. Y'all.
Like, he's not, like, I'm rooting for Jag. But, like, he is not the end-all be-all of this fucking house.
Yeah, but, like, he's not proven that he, like, I just don't understand, like, why everyone thinks they can trust him. But.
Right.
So, when Felicia told Jag that Cirie had told her that Matt said he would eventually have to take Jag out, it was true.
Mm-hmm.
I like that Jag acknowledged, like, he went through a few things. He said, first I would need to know if Cirie actually said that. Then I would need to know if Matt actually said that. And then I would need to know, like, if he meant it. So,
Right.
I think he knows, like, he needs to just, like, find out what's going on instead of just, like, jumping to, like, oh, I guess I should not talk to my final two anymore, you know?
Yeah, but also, like, if you want to play this, if you want to win this game, like, that has to be true in some capacity.
Yeah. But I don't think I think Jag fully believes that, like, Matt would not take him out and that they would just be the final two.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for Matt, like, if he wants
right.
to, he's not going to beat Jag.
You don't need to go up against Jag.
Yeah. So by Thursday night, the noms are still Blue in America. Blue goes home, and it's time for a second eviction in the double eviction.
Yeah. It's also, like, pretty obvious that Blue knows she's going home.
Yes.
You can always tell when everyone is wearing athleisure and one person is not, that they know they're going home. But you know what? Maybe things would have gone differently if Cirie had been picked for a veto comp. Maybe. Which she has not been this entire fucking season. Yeah. Which is crazy to me.
Yeah. It might have been different. She would have had to show her cards.
Yeah. I was trying to think of a clever way to mention that she has not been in a single veto
isn't
comp.
that... Yes. It's a very clever way to tell us. And that is crazy.
Thank you.
Billy was like, wait, so she hasn't played in a single veto? And I was like, no, like, she's played if she's if she's a nominee.
Yeah.
She just hasn't been pulled. I did think it was so funny. They were like, hold on, wait a second. And let me see that you have a chip in here. And she did.
Yeah.
Good to know. So, Bowie wins again an HOH by lowballing the tiebreaker question. Was she trying to throw this one? I don't know.
I was thinking, like, if she was trying to throw it, like, if Bowie wants to throw a competition in the future, she needs to try to win it.
Or go high. Go high. Go 4 billion. She puts up America and Felicia. Matt wins the veto and keeps the noms the same. America is like really, really pleading for her life. And I was like really hoping they would keep her. I knew they wouldn't, but like I was just really hoping, like, because she was actually like wanting to play. And Felicia is just like, I've made it this far by trusting and believing, so that's what I'm going to keep doing. And it's like, no, that's annoying. Like, I wanted you to make it this far because you were playing the freaking game.
You've made it this far because you're useless. And, like, that is helpful to people.
Yes. Because this is Jag's ideal Final Five.
Right. You will, like, if you go up against any of those people in a Final Two, they'll win.
Yeah. America does get to join Corey in the jury house, so good for her. And, like I said, Jag gets the Final Five that he wanted, exactly how he wanted it. And basically, he's ensured that he will win this game. It's unlikely that Bowie, Suri, or Felicia will beat those two boys in any comps. They might, I guess. I honestly feel like it's just going to be a back and forth. Unless Matt decides to take Jag out, like, Jag would beat every single one of those people. So,
and proving that Jag and Matt are going to be the final two, Matt is the new HOH. I also saw that there was, like, a surprise for him in the HOH room from Riley, but I didn't see what it was yet.
Interesting.
But I'm so intrigued by that. Like, that they're still, like, riding that train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looks like he put up Suri and Felicia.
Not surprised.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, get Suri out of this house, please. Like, not in, like, I love Suri, but, like, that is your last standing actual competitor.
Yeah, but, like, barely at this point. Like, and I think for Matt, she's a good choice because, like, if she won something, she would take him. Like, they are close. But, yeah, I think that keeping Suri would be good for Matt specifically because, like,
yes,
if she did manage to win something, like, she would take Matt at this point.
That's true.
So, all right. Any other thoughts on Big Brother?
No.
Before we wrap up this chaotic episode.
No.
Okay. On to Taylor Swift. First up, one of Travis Kelce's teammates' girlfriends posted a picture with Taylor and Travis, and Taylor is kissing his cheek. I swear I thought this was going to freaking break the internet. People lost their marbles, but it was very cute.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. Also, my boss is a big sports girly, and she was telling me that the sneakers Taylor is wearing in those photos are for wives and girlfriends of the team exclusively.
She's a
that
wag!
Teammates will give. She's a wag! She said, that's what she said. She said, those are wag sneakers. I was like, okay. So basically, the teammates give pairs of shoes to their partners when they become official, and there are specific pairs for specific games. So he likely gave her several pairs of sneakers to wear to different games as his girlfriend.
Cute.
She said that she thinks the ones she was wearing are playoff sneakers.
Okay.
But that they're also, like, home game sneakers and whatever. Also, the pics of her from what I believe is his family's watch party or after party were super sweet.
Yeah, they were cute. Then, in solo Taylor news, 1989 Taylor's version is here. It's home. Not a double album, at least for now.
Not yet.
But she did release a Bad Blood remix with Kendrick Lamar again. So, honestly, thank God for that. You will not catch me listening to Bad Blood not with Kendrick Lamar.
I'm still wondering if more is coming, just based on the fact that there is only one feature and only on the deluxe album. Like, I just feel like that's super weird to me. Um, Several people, though, have officially lost hope of any song with Harry based on the vault songs about him, which I would like to point out were written 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think that that means that, like, she's like, well, I can't
Pissed.
write a song with him now. Right, like, she's moved on. They're friends.
Yeah.
Um, Also, though, 1989 has always been my least favorite album, but those vault tracks make it a completely different vibe, and now I'm, like, obsessed with 1989.
That's interesting. So I actually had to like bring myself down to earth a little bit when I was listening to the vault tracks. They were good.
Mm-hmm.
They were great. But I was thinking like, oh, like Slut isn't like what I expected it to be or whatever. But I
Yeah.
had to remember that like they are vault tracks of my least favorite album.
Right.
So like they may
Right.
not be my favorites still. Like I had to remind myself like what the vibe of 1989 was, and that like that has just never been my like favorite thing. And so I was
Yeah.
like, they're great and they're great vault songs, but like I'm still gonna choose Speak Now vault songs or like Red vault
Yeah.
songs. So
I think that part of it, though, is that what I didn't like about 1989 is that it was so, like, upbeat and supposed to be, like, trendy and catchy that the songs just weren't, like, timeless, you know?
yeah,
Like, in 2014, they were great, but, like, now I just don't listen to them. But these vault songs are, like, slower,
yeah,
a lot of them, or, like, something that I would still listen to today. And so I feel like that's what makes it feel different for me.
yeah. So let's talk about that prologue.
Mm-hmm.
I snippeted some of it. She says, quote, "You see, in the years preceding this, I had become the target of slut shaming, the intensity and relentlessness of which would be criticized and called out if it happened today. The jokes about my amount of boyfriends, the trivialization of my songwriting as if it were a predatory act of a boy-crazy psychopath, the media co-signing the narrative. I had to make it stop because it was starting to really hurt. It became clear to me that for me, there was no such thing as casual dating, or even having a male friend that you platonically hang out with. If I was seen with him, it was assumed I was sleeping with him. And so I swore off hanging out with guys, dating, flirting, or anything that could be weaponized against me by a culture that claimed to believe in liberating women, but consistently treated me with the harsh moral codes of the Victorian era. Being a consummate optimist, I assumed I could fix this if I simply changed my behavior. I swore off dating and decided to only focus on myself, my music, my growth, and my female friendships. If I only hung out with my female friends, people couldn't sensationalize and sexualize that, right? I would learn later on that people could and would." End quote. I feel like so glad to get her thoughts in prose form. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we always obviously get her thoughts in song, but I'm like, I am
Mm-hmm.
so glad to like know how she just like felt in this time in her life.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds very much that she is putting the Gaylor rumors to bed. And this
Mm-hmm.
is sad for a lot of folks, but also good for her.
It's also, like, not the first time she has tried to put the Gaylor rumors to bed, though. She has explicitly said, I am not a part of the LGBT community.
I'm just an
Like,
ally.
before, right, and people do not listen. I think it's something that I've always wondered, like, based on, like, people pointing out that who it seems like she's dated. But I do appreciate her pointing out that it's the same thing as if we speculate over her dating a man that she's just friends with, and it's really not cool to dissect every relationship in someone's life
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that she said that, because I feel like people just never think that it's enough to say, like, no, I'm not, like, or like Harry Styles has, like, explicitly said, like, I am not going to answer that question,
Mm-hmm.
and he still gets asked it all the time, and, like, people still, like, speculate. Like, I am a Larry fan
Mm-hmm.
till I die. We know this.
Yeah.
Everyone knows this about me. But, like, still, like, it's not fair for the media to continually ask someone something that they have answered
Yeah.
or said they're not going to answer.
Yeah. And other overall thoughts on the release? Any songs that felt especially different to you this time?
Clean and Out of the Woods felt different to me for some reason. Clean, I I don't think I realized before how synthy it was.
Yeah.
And so when I heard it again, I was like, "Oh," but then I listened to the original version and it was kind of the same. But Out of the Woods felt different to me. I saw a lot of people saying that they will not be listening to Style from Taylor's version because it was so bad. I didn't really notice enough of a difference to think that, but people were pointing out like this isn't just like Taylor getting back her music. This is Taylor releasing her music the way she intended it to be
Mm-hmm.
released and wasn't allowed to release it that way. Um, but I also just feel like her voice sounds smoother and I
Yeah.
love like hearing her voice on the Taylor's versions. I also saw someone point out that like not it's not just like that her voice has like matured, but like somebody who has learned how to manage their voice
Yeah.
in singing. Like people say like, oh, she just doesn't have as much emotion this time around, but it wasn't necessarily emotion. It was like that her voice was like straining
Yeah.
and now it's not. And like I just love hearing like the even though like the songs themselves sound the same, like her voice always sounds different to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard, and then I did find an Instagram thing where they like played them side by side, but it is just like significantly crisper, the whole album. Um, and when people said that, I was like, I don't really get it. But then I found something that played New Romantics like side by side from the old
Mhm.
to Taylor's version, and it was like pretty monumental, like just how much crisper like the
Mhm.
production was. So I think
And
that's
I think
just
as we get into the I think as we get older in the albums,
right.
like they sound more and more like I really feel like Reputation is not going to sound that much different,
Yeah.
but um it's still it's just nice to hear.
Yeah. All right. Now it's time to rank your vault songs.
Mhm.
I guess I can go. My order Is It Over Now, Say Don't Go, Suburban Legends, Slut, and Now That We Don't Talk. Which was a shock to me, I must say.
Yeah. Mine are Is It Over Now? Sorry, Harry Styles. Um but also like the blue eyes comment gets me every time. Um Say Don't Go, Slut. It did surprise me as a slower song, but it felt very relevant with the current NFL commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that. Now That We Don't Talk, and then Suburban Legends.
Yeah, it might change over time, but that's what I got for now. All right, and then to close us out, I was thinking it would be fun to do a game of sorts. Not really much of a game, but
Mm-hmm.
I found some of the more obscure or unhinged hints from the Google Vault game that we all played to get
Mm-hmm.
Taylor to release the Vault track titles. And so I was going to read you the hint and see if you can
Mm-hmm.
guess or remember any of the answers.
Are the answers all songs from the Vault songs?
No.
Oh.
Do you remember it was like random stuff like year birth date and you would like Google December 13th and it would like unlock. Do you remember doing this on Google?
No.
You texted me that you did it. So when
If I did, then I lied.
okay. Okay, Mary. If Taylor Swift gave you the hint, a game of cat and mouse, what would you think the answer is?
Mm, Cats?
No, it's love.
Oh.
Love's a game of cat and mouse.
Mm.
If Taylor Swift gave you the hint coffee, What would you think the answer
Coffee?
is? Yes.
Harry Styles.
Long list of ex-lovers, but nice try.
Oh. I'm still thinking about the vault song.
It was to unlock vault songs. The answers are not the
3,000
vault songs.
coffees later.
Oh yeah, true. The hint is deepest fear.
Snakes.
The answer is sea urchins.
Why the fuck would I know that?
I just also wanted y'all to understand how unhinged Swiftyhood and this woman are. If the hint if the hint is blue sweatshirt, what's the answer?
1989.
The answer is seagulls.
On a boat?
Whoa!
Oh.
The boat. You were getting closer.
Blue dress on a boat.
If the hint is look at it, what is the answer?
Now?
It's yes, whale.
What?
Have you seen that video of her?
Yes.
And last but not least, because it's Halloween, if the hint was Halloween costume, what would you think the answer would be?
Is it one I've already said?
No. Not even a little.
I cannot think of a single Halloween costume this woman has worn.
The answer is pegacorn.
No. See, that's not a thing because a Pegasus already has the features of a unicorn.
The point of this game is Taylor Swift is a little weirdo. And that's all. Thanks for playing.
And I'm not a good Swiftie, apparently.
Yeah, it's a little wild how much like brain storage people are devoting to like what Taylor Swift was for Halloween. One I didn't read to you was gonna be the hint is caption. The answer is got a haircut.
No. Yeah.
Why would I remember that? That she had a caption once, apparently, that said, got a haircut.
She also had a caption that said, it's cool.
Yes,
she has a lot of captions.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? Any pop culture things burning in your mind?
No. You can see a pile of my clothes behind me. I purchased a dupe for every single era cardigan. Jesus. This is my Reputation cardigan.
Jesus. Wow.
They're not expensive.
That's wild, though.
Except Fearless in 1989 because they don't sell those on Amazon.
Great. All right, well, happy Halloween.
Yeah.
Bye.
Be safe.
Yeah.
Bye.